Welcome to the silent personalities imaging. You're standing in the capital city of an African country, but everything around you feels strangely American. The street names, the government buildings, the language, even the vibe of the city. And then you see the name on the map, Monrovia. Now here's the part that sounds like a random trivia fact until it doesn't. Monrovia is named after a US president, James Monroe, and at first, that sounds harmless, almost interesting. But once you ask the real question, why would an African capital be named after an American president? The answer drags you into one of the darkest and most uncomfortable secrets in US history, because Monrovia doesn't exist just because America wanted to help people. Monrovia exists because the United States had a problem it didn't want to solve. A problem that was growing bigger every year, a problem called free black Americans. And instead of giving them equal rights, instead of ending slavery, instead of accepting them as citizens, powerful American leaders came up with a different idea. What if we just removed them from the country? Not by force, not openly, but quietly, politically, and legally. They called it colonization. They marketed it as a humanitarian mission. They framed it as giving black people a homeland. But the truth is far more disturbing. This wasn't a freedom project. It was America's first large-scale attempt to export its racial problem offshore, and James Monroe didn't just witness it, he helped fund it. Imagine you're standing in the capital city of an African country, looking at street signs, government buildings, a bustling port, and a skyline that feels like it's carrying two identities at once. The city is called Monrovia. It sounds American because it is American, at least in its origin story. Monrovia is named after a US president, James Monroe. And that fact alone is the kind of trivia people repeat in one sentence and move on. But the real story, the reason a West African capital carries the name of the fifth president of the United States, forces you to walk straight into one of the most uncomfortable contradictions in American history. The project that helped create Liberia was sold as a humanitarian solution, powered by racism, shaped by politics, and entangled with slavery. To understand why Monrovia exists, you have to rewind to the early 1800s in the United States, a country still young, still fragile, and still built on enslaved labor. There's a growing population of free black Americans, people who were born free, people who bought their freedom, people who were freed by enslavers, people who escaped and managed to stay free. Their existence becomes a political problem in the eyes of many white Americans, especially in slave-holding states, because free black communities